Hello and welcome. It is fantastic to have you here for this exciting product update. I just want to say I've worked here for 7 years. I've worked with organizers in a bunch of different capacities, and I really want to just extend great appreciation to the essential role that you organizers play in making Meetup special. And we're eager to dive into the ways that we've been actively listening to your feedback to create product that's going to be useful and helpful and enable you to do what you do as organizers. So I'm joined today by Colin-Pierre, who is a manager on our community support team. Colin oversees collecting feedback that you all submit about the product and ensuring that that feedback makes it to our product and development teams who are actively reviewing and imbuing that feedback into our product roadmap when we build features for you. I'm also joined by Nicole, who's a senior product manager on the organizer growth team and is someone who really builds that product roadmaps that take all of your feedback and builds product that makes it into your hands so that you can really enhance your community. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gwyn Krueger. I'm the VP of Operations and a leader on the organizer growth vertical here at Meetup. And I've been here for almost 7 years. I said 7 years before. It's almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years in January. And I'm proud and honored to work to serve the needs of the amazing organizers at Meetup who use our platform to create profound and enriching community, because that's what y'all do, and you're amazing. Collecting feedback is a cornerstone of our commitment to continuous improvement, and product leadership places a high value on the insights and feedback of the organizers that use our product. We really do consider organizers to be the heartbeat of Meetup, and we believe that your experiences and needs help shape the platform. And we're really always thrilled to have the opportunity to respond to any of the feedback that we get. And we're especially thrilled when we get to actually build features that respond to that feedback. So today's session, we're going to walk you through the various channels we use to gather your feedback. We're going to highlight the importance of your voices in shaping the direction of Meetup and making sure you know how to access ways to give us the feedback that you want to share. We want to create a platform that not only meets but exceeds your expectations, and that's how we do it, is really listening to you. So we're really excited. We're going to also share some of the recent features and updates we've rolled out, again, all inspired by your feedback and insights. And our goal is to really enhance your experience with Meetup, make it more powerful, intuitive, and tailored to your specific needs. So without further ado, we're going to dive into the details. I'm going to Colin's going to share some information on how we collect feedback, and we're going to get into some of the product enhancements that we've made over the last few months. And then we're going to do a Q&A session, take some questions from all of you. And so let's get into it. All right, Colin.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Colin-Pierre. I am a manager of support and product operations. I've been at Meetup for about 6.5 years. I'm one of the people who review all of the product feedback that you send us. So this could be anything from general product feedback or poor user experiences or feature requests, big things, small things. And it's everything that we receive from members and organizers and people on leadership teams. So we're tracking all the product feedback that we get from you by volume and the urgency and the priority of your request. And then I partner with the product managers to incorporate your requests into future product roadmaps. So we collect product feedback in many different channels. The first one is through Discord. We have our Discord community for organizers. We have people who submit requests on Facebook and Twitter, of course, through email. We also get requests in app reviews. And then we also have this Google form. And Gwen or Janine will share it in the chat, but we have a Google form that's dedicated to product feedback. So if you ever want a new feature, or if you notice that something isn't quite working the way it should be from like a product perspective, then feel free to submit that into the Google form, and we'll review it and we'll track it based on feedback and volume. Now, just so you know, the Google form is not meant for bugs or defects. If something is broken, then we ask that you submit a ticket into our help center, and then our product support team will go in and investigate and troubleshoot and escalate it to the appropriate teams. But this Google form that was shared, this is specifically for new features and things that are kind of awkward but not broken. So thanks to all of this feedback that we've been getting, we've rolled out 4 big new features for organizers. On the next slide is the first one. This is the event feedback overview page, and this is something where you can see all of your post-event feedback in one place. So on the next slide, I'll kind of tell you how we decided to build this. And it really was because of all the feedback that you shared about the event feedback feature. So when we updated the event rating system, we placed a star rating on your group homepage. But we heard from you that even though there was a star rating on the group home, you weren't quite sure where to find all of those ratings. Like you had to manually go into each event and into each past event and then click view feedback and then you saw it there. It was kind of a hard navigation. And on top of that, even if you did find those events, it was kind of really tedious. It was really tedious to have to click through each event separately in order to view the ratings. So that's why we built this overview page on the next slide, where everything is in one place and you can see like everything that your attendees said about your past events. So this page is accessible by actually clicking the star rating at the top of your group homepage, and it will bring you to this page. And this page now lets you see the average star rating across all of your events. It also shows you what people liked, what went wrong, or what they didn't like. You can see a list of all of the past events that you hosted with kind of like an average of what the star rating was, and then a list of all past ratings in general. And then one of my favorite features about this page is the filter and sort ratings drop down, where you can sort by you can sort by like most recent or how many events had 5 stars, 4 stars, etc. You can even look into what events had specific comments posted to it. You can also message members directly from this page. So if you have questions about why someone rated your event this way, a specific way, you can say like, "Great, I'm so glad you had a good time," or you can say, "Oh, I'm sorry you didn't have a good time. Like, how can we improve?" And then the last one is to report, of course, report inappropriate feedback or if you don't quite think it's fair. So yeah, it's a cool new feature, and I'm really glad that we were able to build this based on your feedback. We got dozens and dozens of requests for this, so we're happy to finally make it a reality. So I'll hand it over to Nicole because she's going to talk about hybrid events.
Hey everyone, Nicole here. I'm really excited. This is actually my first Meetup Live, and I'm excited to walk you through some of the bigger projects that our team has been working on this year, all based around your feedback. So let's jump into it. As you may know, hybrid events has been our top feature request for the past few years. We know how important it is, especially post-pandemic, to continue bridging the gap between online and in-person events. Even at Meetup, we actually host a hybrid company meeting every other week. A lot of the companies there in person in New York, and then someone like me in Michigan, I join on Zoom. So we definitely understand the need for this type of feature for your groups, and it's just becoming a part of our new way of life, whether it's personal events, conferences, social gatherings. We heard it loud and clear. You need to be able to give users the option to choose between online and in person. I'm trying to organize a hybrid event. How do I do that? We want to bump up our physical attendees, but still allow for people who want to attend online. So if we go to the next slide, we're going to jump into how we address that. So when you're creating an event now in the event scheduler, and this applies to the website as well as the Meetup Organizer app, you'll see 3 options: in person, online, or hybrid. When you select hybrid, you'll see that it is a feature that requires a pro subscription. So if you're using our standard subscription, you will need to upgrade to pro to take advantage of this feature. But if you're a pro organizer, you'll see the option for hybrid, and when you select it, it's very much the same experience you're used to. You'll set the physical location and the Zoom link or the conferencing link that you're using. And also, one thing to keep in mind is that when you set those up, only members who RSVP will be able to see the online link. So you don't have to worry about, in the past, if you were pasting that link into the description and everyone could see it, now it's just people who are RSVPing and attending online that will be able to join, just like a regular online event. You also have the option to set up different attendance limits. So let's say you have an in-person room that can only hold 25 people, but for your Zoom event, you can either have no limit or maybe 200, or depending on what your Zoom account allows, you can set those up individually. The guest limit feature works in the same way. So if you did want to allow guests for in-person, you can do that and turn that off for online or vice versa. Another big thing that we did with this is the event fees functionality. So if you've ever done paid events through in-person or online, it's very similar to that, but you'll actually be able to have two different prices. So let's say you wanted to have a fee for the in-person portion of the event, but for online, you want it to be free. You can do that. You could also have two different prices, or sell, tickets for, like, let's say you want to sell two different prices based on, how they're attending. That's basically the breakdown there. And actually, we'll get into that a little bit more in a upcoming slide with how you can do some more advanced ticketing features with that, but that goes into our PayPal integration. So I think I may have touched on this, but all of this functionality is available on our website and the Meetup for Organizers app. Now, if we think about the member experience here, before we go on real quick, what they will see is a special hybrid label and icon to help them identify this event throughout the platform. It's similar to what we did when we released online events a few years back. There's going to be a hybrid label, and then there's also a new icon that is a combination of in-person and online to help them start to identify that. Another thing to keep in mind is that when they're searching for your event, it's going to show up in both in-person and online search results, and not just by the location they're searching in. So it will give you a wider reach of possible attendees, because now they're not just limited to a certain city. It's going to be promoted across the entire Meetup platform, no matter where they are, because they can attend online. Members could also change their RSVP type after the fact. So they might attend first as an online attendee, and then maybe, they're running work late at work and they can't show up, they can switch it to online and join that way if they change their mind. Also, one additional enhancement that we are working on now is showing a breakdown of the attendee list separated by who's attending in person or online. So that is coming soon. Okay, so if we move on, the next big project that we did this year is our PayPal integration. And if we jump ahead to the next slide. So in May of this year, we launched basically a complete overhaul of our ticketing system. We built a fully integrated checkout into our RSVP flow using PayPal. So how this works is that you basically connect your PayPal account to Meetup, and then we use Meetup's integrated checkout to process your event fee. Your members still submit the payment when reserving their spot, but they actually have to pay up front now instead of you collecting that payment later. So you're collecting that money right away and reducing the likelihood of a no-show. It also eliminates needs for like manually reconciling all those payments between the two systems that you may have done with our old integration. So going through, your email and seeing that someone sent you money through PayPal, and then going to Meetup, trying to find those two records, linking them together, marking that they paid. It was just a lot of manual work trying to reconcile that. And so now, if you use our integration, it's done automatically as soon as they pay. And another thing to keep in mind is that even though this is using PayPal, your members don't actually need a PayPal account to pay. They actually don't have to leave the site at all. It's just a regular checkout form. So if they click on the credit or debit card button that you see on the example there, all they would need to do is type in their credit card information and pay. Another option for our US organizers is Venmo. So in this example here, if they were to click that Venmo button, they would scan a QR code and they can pay with their Venmo account. Now, on your end, you don't need to set up Venmo. You don't need to worry about how they're paying. It really doesn't matter at all. PayPal kind of handles all of that for you, collects the money, and then deposits it into your bank account. And another thing is, if you ever need to process a refund, you can do that in the PayPal dashboard. And as soon as the refund is issued, our side receives that information from PayPal immediately and will update your records and transactions. And I saw a question before we started about countries. So I'm just going to throw in the chat a help article that shows a list of the countries that this integration supports. It's US, Canada, UK, several parts of Europe and Asia as well. So I think all the countries that I saw that were asked are covered, but if you want to take a look at that list, it has the complete countries. One thing to keep in mind is that with this integration, your members will pay a platform fee on top of your ticket price. So that platform fee goes to Meetup. And by collecting this fee, it's allowing us to continue to reinvest our resources into this system and to basically develop additional functionality that we've been hearing that you really need from us for a long time. And actually that takes us to our next slide, where we kind of went from this initial integration. So our customer support team collected hundreds of requests over the last few years related to improving our ticketing system. And we really heard you loud and clear that we need to make it more in line with some of our competitors. We heard that you need things like early bird discounts, promo codes, being able to like really utilize Meetup to sell your tickets without these features was very difficult for many of you. And you often had to use two systems together to just sell tickets and run your events. And so we heard requests for really specific things like giving a member a discount. Maybe you have people who are attending for the first time, friends and family. Maybe you want to give out free tickets to some members and not others. And we also heard pretty consistently the need for just a time-based discount like an early bird to encourage people to RSVP as quickly as possible. So first, let's talk about how we built our promo code system as a result of this. If you go to the next slide. So when scheduling a paid event, you'll now see a new section to add promo codes. And I'm just going to say this at the top so I don't forget. This is available on our website and in the Android Organizer app. It's coming very soon to the iOS Organizer app, hopefully in the next week or two.
And Nicole, this is available on Core as well as Pro for groups on Pro. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Sorry, that was a little bit of a transition there. So for hybrid events, that is a Pro feature. And for our PayPal integration, this is all available to standard subscribers across the board. So with the promo code system, you can create as many promo codes as you want for each event, and they can have their own schedule. So when you create a code, first thing is that you want to come up with like a short name that you'll give out to your members and the price of the code. So for example, in the screenshot here, I have a code named half off and the price is $10. The original ticket price would have been $20 in this case, and then I'm giving them half off for 10. You can also set a date range and a limit for how many tickets you want to sell at that price. And with the system, you can set up one or as many codes as you want at different times, and they can overlap or they can span the entire duration of the sale of the event. There's really no limit to how you set this up. You can turn off the ticket sale limit if you want to sell as many as you want. You can turn off the date range if you want it to run for the entire span of the event. So basically everything you see there is customizable. And let's see. So on the member side, the second picture, that's basically what they will see on any platform when using Meetup, is that when they go to checkout, they'll now have a promo code area to enter the code that they've been given. And also, in case you're curious, that promo code box will only appear if you're using this feature. So if you choose to not have any codes for your events, that's totally fine. And members won't see that and they won't be confused to enter one. So this would only be visible when a code is active. And yeah, so during checkout, they type in their code and they'll immediately see the discount applied with their new amount that they have to pay. So it's, similar to any shopping cart checkout flow process that your members would be familiar with. Another way that you can utilize promo codes is you can kind of use it to track where your sales are coming from. So let's say you decided to spend money on social media ads, or maybe you have like a regular newsletter or group chat that you use to communicate with your members. You could create different codes for each channel and then send those out individually, and just kind of as a way to see what sources are driving the most RSVPs to your events, and then maybe you could invest more into those sources than others. So it's kind of just another marketing tool for you to leverage to help drive attendance to your events. Now, let's talk about our second major improvement, which is on the next slide. So you probably guessed it's early bird pricing. So we've paired promo codes and early bird together to try to cover all of the cases that we heard that were really important to you when selling tickets. And so what you need to do here is it's a little bit simpler than promo codes. You're just setting a discounted price and when the discount ends and how many tickets you want to sell at that price. So one advantage to this system over promo codes, if you were going to choose it, or to get started, you don't really have to worry about giving out the codes. It's basically just, automatically taken care of for you by Meetup. You don't really need a marketing plan or a rollout. You basically just set this up, and then as soon as the discount is active, it will be shown across the entire Meetup platform for you while that discount is running. It'll be shown in the Meetup member app as well as on the Meetup website, wherever your members are RSVPing to your events. And when the discount is active, they will see kind of what's shown in the bottom right there, the original price slashed out with the discounted price, and then what that early bird discount percentage would be. If they click on the little information icon, they get more details on when that sale ends. Another thing to note here is just tips that we kind of thought of as we were building it. One marketing strategy that you could do is you could actually just set this up so that the discount is available all the way up until the start of the event. So in that discount ends box, you could just put 0. And what that would do is basically just create a generic discount for your event and not make it time-based. And sometimes that type of sale is a marketing tactic to entice people to buy something that maybe they were otherwise on the fence about. Yeah, so like I said, this feature is the same as promo codes in the fact that it's on the website and Android Organizer app and coming soon to iOS. And let's wrap it up with one other enhancement that we've done related to ticketing. On the next slide, yes. So we also decided to redesign and modernize our what we call the money page. So it's your group's homepage for all of your sources of revenue coming through Meetup. So from the money page, if you're familiar with it, you'll see all of your ticket sales, your membership dues, and sponsor and other types of income that you're tracking. You can also track expenses here and log other income manually that you're collecting outside of Meetup. Another thing is if you wanted to do more detailed reporting, you can do an export of the transaction list from here and put it into a spreadsheet into Excel or do further reporting on it. And yeah, so that's all kind of the same as you're used to, but just kind of given a redesign and a facelift. And another thing that we did with this screen in relation to the past 2 features we just talked about is when you're looking through your transaction list, you will be able to see if and how they use these discounting features. So for example, Sarah Jones there, she bought a ticket to my event and she used a promo code with the code being the word discount. So I created a code called discount and it was redeemed for that ticket. So I can see that that was utilized. And then the example below that is showing that Dan used the early bird discount. So I can start to see those discounts coming in and be able to relate that back to the sales that I set up just to see how, if those are successful or not. Yeah, so I know I went through that kind of quickly, but I know we have time for Q&A, so I'd love to answer any questions you have or go into this in any more detail. So,
Okay, I'm gonna take us off the slideshow for Q&A. I hope that's okay. We can all kind of see our faces. So let's start with a few questions. Let me just pull up what we have so far. Okay, so we have a question. I don't know who it's from. I'm sorry. Can one select online, in person, or all attendees as recipients of chat messages? And I'm going to try to decipher that a little bit. I think maybe that means with the event chat. I'm going to try to interpret that. I think that means, is there a way to segment based on the type of recipient they are in the event chat feature? That's how I'm going to interpret that question. And I don't think that there is.
Yeah, I think that's what they're asking. Can you select online, in person, or all attendees as as recipients of chat messages. By chat messages, it sounds like event chat. And that isn't right now for event chat. It's open to anyone who has RSVP'd to the event. But also members of your group can join the event chat. And when you use event chat, it's just to everyone who's in that chat. So you can't say, okay, only those who have said they're coming online or in person. You can't, we don't have that feature right now. But that's an interesting idea.
It's a great one. And yeah, we should definitely capture that in our feature requests. We'll take any features that come out of this Q&A, feature requests that come out of this Q&A, make sure that we capture it and that we're considering it in our roadmap. Okay, next question. Can Meetup promote ticketed events to interested groups and group members? So this is kind of an interesting idea. I know that, Nicole, we've been sort of experimenting with promotion around ticketed events and different surfaces that we might be able to put sort of weighted promotion around those types of events on. Do you want to talk a little bit about that as an upcoming consideration, something that we're looking into?
Yeah, we are, as you mentioned, considering ways that we can boost PayPal events throughout the platform, and doing some small tests now. Obviously, it probably goes without saying, but these events would be promoted just as all of your other events are throughout regular search, naturally. But that is something that we're considering as a way to incentivize using our integration with PayPal and our integrated ticketing, that we could potentially boost those events. But at this point, yeah, we haven't quite released anything yet. So we're still in the evaluation phase.
Yeah, very early in the test mode. And of course, we would always want to make sure that there's any event, like any type of event, gets really great promotion, because that's part of the value you get on Meetup as an organizer. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. I like this question. What if you wanted to offer, it's a kind of a creative question, but how we can use our ticketing promo features creatively. So what if you wanted to offer tickets at variable prices, say for instance, a low wage, normal wage, and pay it forward ticket price? And I wanted to ask that question because I think that there's different ways that an organizer could use early bird and promo code to kind of recreate something like that. So I wanted to kind of it's kind of a challenging question to put you on the spot with, but I wanted to think it through here as maybe potential advice for organizers who are thinking about using our features.
It kind of sounds like a promo code.
Right.
Like they could create a promo code for people, who with low wage or normal wage versus pay it forward, and then you send that specific promo code to that, that group of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you can create multiple tiers of different percentages, like different promo codes reflecting different percentages, and name them different things. Right?
Yeah, because is there a maximum of promo codes that we can create, Nicole?
No, they can add as many as they'd like.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So one way you would do that is create 3 different at different percentages, and you would send it to the different groups of people based on how you segmented that out. And you can name them whatever you want. You could actually name them low wage, normal wage, pay it forward. So you have a lot of options and versatility in the way that you use these features to sort of drive the participation that you want to.
Yeah, and to be honest, when we were designing this, another feature similar to this was the tiered pricing system. But because promo codes can be set up in the way that you described, and early bird discounts together, we were able to achieve the overwhelming majority of requests of the various types of pricing that people needed. So we feel like these two systems, when used together, will cover 99% of the cases where you do need to sell discounted tickets or variable pricing tickets in some way or another.
Yeah, a lot of research went into not only like how organizers might use these today and using the feedback that we had already gotten, but also looking at how competitors have built their ticketing features and making sure that we were doing things that would sort of help bring you over to the one platform on Meetup. Use our ticketing features. All right. Is there any? This is not related to what we've gone over, but this is I want to ask this question. We could talk about it a little bit, because I think it's on a lot of organizers' minds. Is there any plan to upgrade the email system on Meetup? I've been here since 2008, and the response rate to emails has never been so low. I love you so much, but more people come because of the WhatsApp group than the email reminders. Yes, I will take this one. It is something that we're looking at. Like, as folks may know, we've been around for a really long time. A lot of the tech that our email and our comms tools were built on, there's an opportunity to upgrade to make sure that it works more consistently. We are very focused on ensuring that any reports of problems with our communication tools, any of them, like our announcement tools, the organizer broadcast tools, are addressed as quickly as possible. But we want to be more proactive about this, and so it's something that we're taking a deep dive into in our various teams to really understand how we can do it in a way that's going to make sense for the way organizers use our tools, but also for us to support as a platform. So we want to modernize. That's our intention. For now, as Colin mentioned at the beginning, if you have any issues with any of the communication tools that we provide, please submit a bug ticket so that our community support team can respond to it quickly, collect the information, and get it to our engineers so we can fix it really fast. Because we know that that's a pain point for folks, and we want to make sure that we're addressing reliability reactively for now and looking at how we can do it proactively in the future. Thank you for asking that question. Will we be able to use PayPal donations for donations to the organizer? In theory, that is something that we could build.
Yeah, I think they're
Right,
referring
yeah.
to fundraising.
Right. Yeah, right now we have Pledge. That's the integration that we use today. But I think that there's a lot of opportunity in how we can leverage this PayPal integration to, a while back, we had this really cool contributions feature that was sort of like a tip jar that organizers could put out for their group. And I think that there's, we've talked about how this integration with PayPal could pave a way for bringing back features like that, not just for US organizers, but we would want to really look to do that for all organizers. So it's something that we've definitely discussed. It's been feedback that we've heard. And I know we're kind of looking at ways that we can do that moving into 2024.
And I just wanted to mention too, as a possible workaround for that, what you could do is create an event that is sort of like a placeholder fundraising event that, as long as you make it clear that, this event is a, doesn't actually have a gathering point, but it's just used to raise money. And then when they RSVP, they are contributing to that, to your group's success. That obviously not ideal, but in the meantime, while we're building that, it may be something that you can utilize.
I love that idea.
It's a good idea. Never
That's
thought
a
of that.
very cool idea.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Yeah, not
awesome.
forever.
Yeah,
Not
that's
ideal.
awesome. That's creative thinking. Okay. Sorry. Can crowdfunding launch events be promoted on Meetup as online events? Can crowdfunding launch events be promoted on Meetup as online events?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we were just saying, right?
Yep.
Like it's
Yeah.
a crowdfunding
Similar.
online event that isn't really happening, or maybe you do
Right.
have a final get together to
Right.
celebrate, but it's mostly just to fundraise. Yeah.
Yeah. Great minds. People are coming to conclusions at the same time. Okay, event fees. Can Meetup better educate members that paid events are legitimate? Some members feel paid events go completely against the ethos, even the rules of Meetup. They are insulted by the idea of a paid event. That's interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely some takeaways we can move forward with in how we message why paid events are really important to organizers and helping sustain your communities. Just thinking through how Meetup, because what I hear is like, it's really beneficial for Meetup to be the voice of that message. Of course, you as organizers can post that information in the various ways that you can communicate with members, but I think it makes sense for Meetup to have sort of a perspective on that. And so that's something that we can take away from this as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, like, I think we could definitely be better at, showing that these events are more legitimate, but also from the organizer perspective, definitely to like communicate clearly the expectations of your group and the purpose of the group and the events, so that members might feel a little more confident as well. But yeah.
Also, I'm taking these questions as they're coming into me, so they're a little out of order because I think this next one would have gone well with the earlier one. Is there a way to set VIP tickets that are more expensive?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this because I saw it come in. The the only way I can really think of is if your actual price of the event is the VIP price, and then your promo codes and your discounts are a way to lower that. Because unfortunately, with the way we have it, you can only set a price that's lower than your original price when it's a promo or an early bird. This is a specific case that we don't cover well. So that's a good call out. And I think something that we could definitely, enhance in the future. But yeah, just as a potential workaround, that's one way you could do it.
Yeah, awesome. I love these workarounds. I think this is really good. Of course, it's good for us to know that there are use cases for you so we can build the
Right.
actual feature. All right, this is going to be, I think, the last question, and we're going to wrap up. And I'm going to share a couple of more slides, and then we'll finish up. What if you're hosting a hybrid event using a virtual events platform that charges for the tickets, for the attendees? Does that make sense?
Right. So you're charging the event fee on another platform, it sounds like.
Yeah.
I think you'd probably have to keep the fee 0 on Meetup so that they can still attend and log that RSVP, but then ask them to complete their payment on the virtual event platform. Obviously not ideal, and we are trying to do everything we can to eliminate needing multiple platforms and trying to keep everything under Meetup. But I'm assuming you're using that for like scheduling the conference, like the actual streaming of it or something like that. So that would be a little bit beyond. But
yeah, our main goal is to make sort of Meetup like the one-stop shop where you can host your event. You can host it if you wanted to upgrade to Pro to host a hybrid event. You could do that there, and you can add ticketing features that would be really easy to use natively on the platform. Okay, I'm gonna walk through the next few slides. Oh, late breaking news. We have more questions, so I'm gonna wait for those questions to come through, and then I'm gonna ask them. And we'll talk for a couple more minutes, and then I'll walk through the last slides.
I see one that says, "Can I teach dance on Meetup online?" Heck yeah.
Yeah, actually, Colin, you have a yoga an online
I
yoga.
do. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not a yoga teacher, but I literally just share my screen and my sound on Zoom, and then I show a YouTube video and we do it together. And it's great. It's great motivation for people to show up and know that we're exercising together. So you could totally do a dance, an online dance class if you teach dance, or put on a YouTube video and dance together. Like, it's whatever you want.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Meetup, especially now that we have some of these
Yeah,
online
online events, right?
Yep.
Yoga.
Let's see, I have one more, and I'm not sure how to answer this, so I'm gonna throw it to the group and see if we can get a good answer and play. How can I advertise my event on the internet, like Google, etc.? You do not have the Google tag feature anymore. We do.
okay, so I think they're asking about their group showing up in organic search.
Yep, in organic search, yeah, and we do a lot of optimization. We have a really huge focus on search engine optimization, so that we're constantly sort of ensuring that our site is really healthy and showing up in high ranking as a high rank in Google searches for events and meetups and that kind of thing. Any other sort of tips around? I mean, there's cross promoting. You can always cross promote on different platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook. That's always an option.
I'm not super familiar with SEO, but my gut is telling me to really put a lot of like good keywords and search terms in your event, or sorry, your group description, and possibly even the title of your group, so that when someone searches for those keywords, it would show up on Google. I'm not super familiar with SEO, but that's kind of what I would try to do.
Yeah, and that's always a best practice just for our native search features. That always really helps center the event. When people search particular keywords, it'll be likely that your event will show up if those keywords are in your group description or in your group title or in your event description. All right, I think that is it for questions. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Okay, see my Spotify there. All right, we did that. All right, so we do want to hear from you. As you said, that is like the theme of this entire this entire 45-minute segment. We want to hear from you. We want to build what you are looking for out of Meetup. And so it's a partnership. We really look at this as a partnership between you, our valued organizers, and us at Meetup. So here's a link, and you can use this link to share feedback. And we really hope you do. And we look at, Colin reviews all of it, literally all of it. So
Yeah, y'all have some great ideas.
yep. All right. And then we also we have this really amazing product release note blog that we put it up. We update it about every 2-3 weeks, and that will keep you updated on our product releases and other things that are sort of related to innovating the product. And there's a link to it right here. And Colin actually helps write that with the amazing Mary on our marketing team. It's a real team effort. And we would love to invite you to join our incredible, I think at this point, 6,000 organizers strong Meetup organizer community on Discord. It is an amazing community. Seal, who I saw on here earlier, is a mentor. We have about 15 to 20 organizer mentors that are really experienced organizers who have a lot of many years, I think probably like 100 years of combined experience organizing on Meetup, to share their experience, strength, and hope, to make sure that they're, to make sure that new organizers and just organizers who run can share best practices, and share the sort of the struggle, because we know it can be really hard to invest a lot of time and energy and effort and passion to build community. And so this is the group for you. And that's the link right there. If you go in there, you'll be prompted to, if you don't have a Discord account, you can just start a Discord account, and then you'll drop right into the community. And if you do, you'll just drop right into the community and have fun talking to organizers. You'll see me on there. I think Nicole's in there, Colin's in there, so you can say hi. Oh, and Lara. Yeah, Lara's the community manager, and she's amazing. So you'll see her. And I think that's the last slide. So it was a pleasure sharing this last 3/4 of an hour with y'all. I hope you got a lot out of it. Please feel free to reach out to us on Discord if you have anything else you want to say, or we didn't address one of your questions, and use the product feedback form to reach out as well. Look forward to seeing you next time. Anything anybody else wants to say before we go? All right.
Keep on meeting up. Thanks.
Keep it on meeting up. See y'all later, folks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.